All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is October 13th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. This is the day trading server division of the hit and run candlesticks family. All right, let's take a look at the markets today. I only made 600, okay, on a 27K account. I started a new 27K account today. I gotta say, I don't want to offer excuses, but really, the platform did not work until, noon. I finally got the platform to execute an order. So it wasn't because my orders weren't to be executed. It was just that the platform just didn't respond. So it was a rough day for me. All right, so let's take a look at the market, see what happened. All right, so here's the SPY. Let's push this down. Okay, SPY's got consolidation over prior consolidation. Okay, if I draw a line right through here, you can see clearly I've got some consolidation over prior consolidation. Let's see if this works. No, it's not going to work. Not surprised. Oh, wait, see, something's working. All right, so you got consolidation here over prior consolidation. That's a bullish environment right there. So we got a weak 10-minute uptrend going on. It's only like a 2-candle uptrend right here. So not a very strong uptrend, just a 2-candle uptrend. We've got consolidation over prior consolidation. That's bullish. We had a nice little 10-minute rally right here. I think I missed almost all of it due to the platform, but nice little 10-minute rally up over VWAP, which brought us right into this exhaustion candle right there. So it's hard to see it, but if you can envision, at one time this was a green candle that was solid for a microsecond. It was all the way up to the top here, making it the exhaustion candle. And then from there, we just kept making lower highs and some higher lows, and then finally a lower low. All right, so we'll take a look at the 2-hour chart. And on the 2-hour chart, we've got 2-hour uptrend right here. Okay, you can barely see it. Take this off. Okay, you can barely see it, but right there you got the candlesticks and the 3 EMA up over the white EMA. I think just barely. Let's try this over here. Okay, 2-hour chart on the SPY. No, 2 hours, still in a 2-hour downtrend right here based on the 2-hour chart. The 3 is underneath the 8 EMA, along with the candlesticks riding right up in between them. Okay, so on the daily chart was still in a downtrend until we make a new high. All right, because we took out this low right here. So we're in a downtrend. Let's take a look at whether we're bullish or bearish. All right, so I'm going to push this down, and let's look at the 15-minute. All right, and on the 15-minute, we're going to put the quad lines in. All right, and you can see, they just took off one of the post-market. Here, let's see what we got now. Yeah, well, the post-market was all the way down here, okay, at 646.50, 646.20. All right, so on the quad lines, if I bring this all the way down here, we're up over the midpoint. So we're not bearish, and we're not bullish yet. All right, but we're just still kind of in neutral land. If you look at price where it is in regards to the quad lines. Now, these quad lines aren't correct because for some reason they don't want to recognize the fact that, see now, in the pre-market we got down here. In the post-market yesterday, which would extend these quad lines down further, putting all of this price action up over the midpoint, which is a on the bullish side, but it's neutral, but it's on the bullish side of the midpoint. All right, if they were to extend these down to where we left off on Friday down here. So I'm going to call this just neutral right through here, not bullish nor bearish. All right, just neutral, because we're kind of like waffling around right on top of the midpoint of the quad lines. All right, on the weekly chart, you can see weekly clearly we're in a nice uptrend, and the monthly clearly we're still in that nice uptrend right there. Okay, so on the VZO, on the 2-day VZO, let's take a look at the 2-day VZO, and let's move this up, see if I can find the VZO. That's not it. There we go. Okay, 2-day VZO. You can see we've got two candles that did not make the 9. Of course, that was Friday's candle. We won't know until tomorrow whether this candle will produce a candle up over the 9. But you can see this is the first candle that does not meet the 9. Usually after that, we get a pullback into this area down here. So we'll see what happens, whether they've already completed that move based on this candle, or if that move is, this is just a pause before they have another, pullback into this area down here. We'll see. So there's SPY on the 2-day with the VZO on there. Let's take this off, okay, because that usually leads to a pullback. Okay, now of course we already hit the 50, we hit the 17, so I don't know what's left to hit down there. Okay, maybe back to the 100. We'll see what happens on the daily chart. Let's try to pull this down. Tough time right there. Okay, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. Okay, QQQ today on the 10-minute chart. Okay, QQQ holding up again, kind of just like SPY. You can draw a line right through the middle here, and you can see consolidation over prior consolidation. That's bullish. You can see they had a nice 10-minute uptrend. It almost looks identical to SPY. The only thing is they've got an equal highs up here, whereas SPY has lower highs up through here. So you can see consolidation over prior consolidation. That's bullish. All right, let's put the quad lines on that. I'm going to take this off. All right, and we'll take a look at the 10-minute chart. All right, let's put the quad lines on here. And I think they went lower too. And we'll have to see where they went. But I got a feeling they're not including that market activity that was post-market on Friday that took price down a little bit lower. So you can see they're waffling up here right on top of the midpoint. That's bullish also if they can get up there. So that would bring this down a little bit lower, the midpoint, like right into here, putting all of this price action in the pre-market and the regular open session all up over the midpoint, which is bullish, all right, right there, okay? But they need to make it up into this upper quadrant up here, upper third, not in the upper third. So just neutral right here for QQQ. Let's take a look at FNGU. Now let's take a look at 10-minute chart, see what they got going into the close. It's hard to say. It's not like an uptrend or a downtrend. To me, it's just consolidation. And if you look at SPY, SPY is the same thing. Okay, it's not quite an uptrend or a downtrend. It's just consolidating over to the right there. Okay, so there's 10-minute on QQQ. Let's look at the 2-hour on QQQ. See what we got for that. 2-hour shows an uptrend on this chart with pre-market, post-market activity. And without the post-market activity, let's take a look at the 2-hour chart. And without the post-market and pre-market activity, we're still in a 2-hour downtrend right here on the QQQ. Okay, on the daily chart, QQQ does not have any candles that have tails below the 17. So right here we have on QQQ, all right, they're still in an uptrend. okay, because they haven't broke any valleys or tails below the 17. Now they did come down below this tail right here. All right, that low is 588.50. This low here is 589.05. So this is 588.50, and you can see they did not take out that low. So that puts them, they're still in an uptrend, okay, on the daily chart. And you can see on the daily chart for today's candle, we've got an inside day, same as SPY. Lower high, higher low, closing inside a bullish trap over the rising 17 EMA. Let's take a look at SPY. SPY, same thing. Okay, so lower high, lower low, closing inside a bearish trap and under the 17 EMA. QQQ closing inside a bearish trap but over the 17 EMA. So a little more strength going on in the QQQ right there. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right, inside day. All right, lower high, higher low, closing over bearish trap and over the 17 EMA. Okay, so still kind of trying to hold on to this upper consolidation up here. So FNGU still, it's in a downtrend because we took out, see this low right here below the 17. We made a lower low. So we're in a downtrend, but we're up here in the bullish section up here. And if we put the quad lines on this price action that we had today and what we had yesterday, and there's no reason for my charting program to delete that price action that was here. I don't know why they would do that. That's a lousy thing to do, is to delete, $6 of price action that I had in the SPY. That's really uncalled for. Because what's the sense of using your tools if you're not going to be measuring the correct data? All right, so it's like measuring your neighbor's front door because you're going to get a new front door. Okay, it's might not be the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not right. Okay, measuring your neighbor's back door while you're trying to find a new front door for your house. Okay, it just doesn't work like that. Okay, that's wrong. All right, so FNGU, that's something that maybe TC2000 could maybe do a little bit better job on that. All right, so FNGU, you can see price action up over the midpoint here. That's bullish. All right, nice bullish consolidation today up over the midpoint. Okay, not in the upper third, not in the lower third, so just kind of neutral right there. If we look at this on the daily chart, we're up here at the top of quadrant 4. That's still kind of bullish, but we are in a downtrend. All right, and looking like they're trying to make a recovery today. All right, let's take a look at the weekly chart, still in an uptrend. Monthly chart, still in an uptrend right there. So that's FNGU. So IWM, according to Fahad and myself, you got 90% of your losses back. Way to go, Sharon. For me, I got I couldn't get a fill until noon. So you did much better than me. You did much better than me. That's a nice comeback right there, recapturing 90% of your losses. All right, so here's IWM. And we'll look at this on the daily chart. Okay, you can see another inside day. Okay, lower high, higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Closing over a bearish trap. That's a bearish trap right there. And if we look at the 10-minute, here's IWM with the 10-minute, nice 10-minute uptrend right out of the gate. From the beginning of the day all the way until the end of the day. So nice work on IWM. That really looks like the strongest one of the Fab 5. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. And here's Diamond Dow. We need to take the quad lines and put those on Diamond Dow. Let's take this one. Let's see what we got here. And I'm going to drag this all the way out to that high right there. So Diamond Dow, based on like this high and this pullback, a little bit weaker, much weaker than the other four. You can see price action not in the lower third, but not in the upper third, just kind of meandering here underneath the midpoint. So just neutral right there for Diamond Dow on the daily chart, based on the quad lines and measuring from the highs back to the lows, this move right here that we're in. So they have not recovered, over 50% of that move. And who knows how much TC2000 left off of the data here. Again, okay, can't trust those guys. Okay, so here's Diamond Dow on the 10-minute. Not quite a 10-minute uptrend, a little bit right here, but not much to really trade. More of just consolidation up top here. So not digging out anything wonderful, just moving to the right on Diamond Dow. On the daily chart, again, it is a lower high, lower low, closing inside a bearish trap under the flat or rolling over 17 EMA. Okay, so there's Diamond Dow right there up at the top of quadrant 4. Okay, so still for Diamond Dow, it's made a lower low, so it's in a downtrend and it's just neutral at this time from my standpoint, based on from the top to down here. From the bottom, from up here, this is bullish, but from the top back to here, we're still in neutral territory for Diamond Dow on the daily chart. Weekly chart, still in an uptrend. Monthly chart still in an uptrend right here. Okay, so monthly chart still in an uptrend. Let me move this out just for a second here, because I don't want this one in there. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's Diamond Dow on the monthly chart. All right, let's take a look at technicals. All right, we'll come on over. You know what we'll look at. We're going to go to gold and silver. We'll hit the daily chart. Okay, so on the daily chart, put this back in. Okay, let's take a look at gold, GLD. All right, so gold, new all-time high for gold. That's bullish, top of quadrant 4. That's bullish and still in an uptrend right there. Silver, new 14-year high, closing in on that all-time high right up there. That's bullish and still in an uptrend for silver and gold. Bullish, still in an uptrend. USO got an inside day, lower high, higher low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17. That's neutral and still in a downtrend. And note, it's on the bearish side of neutrality down here. Okay, so USO kind of on the bearish side of neutrality and in a downtrend, still not ready. Okay, USO. UNG down here at the bottom of quadrant 1, that's bearish, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. They're now no longer in that uptrend that they just recently made. And now they're in a downtrend because they took out a low right here. So they're now in a downtrend, UNG. And at the bottom of quadrant 1, those are the all-time lows, getting ready to challenge the all-time lows. So that's bearish and in a downtrend for UNG. Let's take a look at some of our technicals. T2101. A little more market participation here on this rally back up. Okay, so you can see right here, here's the market breadth increasing a whole lot, as if as if Amazon put everything on the website on sale. You can see a lot of participation stepped up today to buy the dip right there on T2101. Let's take a look at T2122. Okay, we find ourselves kind of like winding up to break out of the oversold zone. Notice we came through the sell zone only to camp out inside the seller's chop zone up here. Okay, we're still kind of neutral. Okay, we need to get up here on the buyer's chop zone or on the bullish side of neutrality. Still not there yet. Okay, on T21.22. T21.23, 15-minute chart. Let's see what we got here. We're still in a downtrend. They haven't made any new highs, any higher highs, and we're still underneath the 200 SMA. Okay, a lot of wild price action this morning. Look at this. That's some crazy right there. Okay, all of this happened this morning. Still right there. So price action still not recovered on T21.23 on the 3-bar chart. We find ourselves no longer above the 200 SMA. We're now under the 200 SMA. Again, we put in some 3 red candle bars, okay, right here on the 17. So we have a low. We made a lower low. So we're in a downtrend, and notice we're approaching the bottom of that quadrant 1 right there. All right, so things are rolling over fast up here, unless they can recover it. That's a nice tail candle with a hold up there, okay, but they need some follow through on that tomorrow. So there's T21.23 under the 200 SMA, still bullish from this standpoint up here of looking at it from this low up to this high. This is bullish, but if we look at it from this high down to this low with the quadrant lines on there, I think we'll find that we've come up way short, okay? You can see here's price action. We're still down here in the lower quadrant 1. That's bearish from looking at it from this standpoint down here, okay? So look at it from here down to here, okay? We're still bearish, okay? We're not neutral, and we're certainly not bullish up there. So T21.23 needs some help, needs to find some spinach, maybe, or some mustard here at the 200 SMA. We'll see what they can scrounge up. But right now they're still showing some weakness on the 3-bar chart on T21.23. FNGU, all right, we'll take a look at FNGU. Here it is, a little gap up this morning, okay. That's always nice. Everybody got a gap up this morning, I think. So that's a bullish gap up that the bears didn't fill. That is a bullish clue anytime you see that happen. And then when you see consolidation over prior consolidation, also another bullish clue. Okay, so there's FNGU on the 15-minute. And don't think we set any new highs, okay, because there's the first high right there. Let's see if I can. Okay, so actually, well, this valley doesn't come down below the 17, so no new highs, no higher high. Got to come down below the 17 and then break up back through. So FNGU still in a downtrend in a bear flag, and again we'll put the quad lines on there so you can see it on the 15. So 15 minutes still in a downtrend right there, consolidating over the midpoint. That is a bullish outlook. Consolidating over the 200 SMA, that is a bullish outlook. Gap up and the bears can't fill the gap, that is also a bullish outlook. Okay, but we need to see some more. All right, okay, going up and holding for the day. All right, we need to see a breakout to the upside. All right, something that shows us that they can move up and hold the next area higher. Okay, now this is good right here, but we need to get up and show us one more move right here that they can get up on top of this and consolidate higher. Okay, right now we're just in the middle of an airborne bounce right there on FNGU. All right, so I'll take any questions in the room. If not, we'll call it a day, and I'll see everybody tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Any questions? No questions? Today was a tough day for me. I told you my platform didn't work. And I'm working on other platforms, and it's got too much going on. And then finally my platform works at 12 noon. A little late, but that's the breaks. Nothing? All right. I'll see everybody tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Thanks for hanging out with me here today. All right. We'll see you all tomorrow at 8. Thank you, everybody.